It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the NFC East. It's the Eagles and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it comes your way next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 3rd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. It was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense out. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got it.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
They'll try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second and 12. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 107 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Back to throw here. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And now here's a carry heading left. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech. But I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet. But we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together. And we're capable of doing so.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back to throw again. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, it's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. He'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point forthcoming. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Now back to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for Houston. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Keeps himself upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Lamb. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're getting the football back again.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's reeled in by Baldwin. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A huge play there for Houston.
I can hear the film session right now. I can hear the coach saying to his team, guys, how does a guy that big get that open?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Imagine him as a kid, just trying to play hide and seek.
No chance.
No chance. He goes to hide behind the skinny tree. You see the front, the back, the top. Good luck.
Yeah, you see him. You don't see the tree.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
He wants it all for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line.
Personal foul. Running the defense. They threw it. They just threw the flag.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are now just an extra point away from grabbing the lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point right down the middle. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Oilers on just 2 plays have taken the lead. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats there. How about this? 22.1 miles per hour. Wow. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat line and felt pretty good about how you played, but if your team didn't win,
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll set up to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 2. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. You know, normally he's probably happy with how he's playing. He's playing pretty well, but in the second quarter you look up your team's losing. I don't think any quarterback's satisfied.
Not at all, and what they're really seeking is how do I play even better and inspire my teammates to do exactly the same in order for us to get back on top on the scoreboard. That's when you find out you have a quarterback. If they're just satisfied with their stat line,
they're not really a leader.
Not at all. You just have a guy playing the position.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. The Panthers trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. The Browns looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. In that game, all tied with the visiting Patriots. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, on the other side, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that payoff in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you were throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the gun, he'll hand this off. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Back to throw here. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it. Complete. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Back to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
you don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Houston. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And that is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times,
can't get away, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Houston's offense taking over again.
And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. So they bring out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. before they can get the punt away. Whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the...
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The coverage good. The pressure good. Leads to the sack. And it's 3rd and goal now.
3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory.
He'll drop to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one is right through. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Houston set to take over.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Here's a 2nd and 7. He hits Baldwin right side. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And that's knocked away and incomplete. They bring their punter out there now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 16.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt.
And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia his offense ready to give us another look. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He finds his man complete. It's Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll drop to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that could spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
2nd and 20. They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Lamb. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. He finds his man complete. It's Lamb. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. They'll look to throw again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. This will go as an 11-yard loss there on 1st and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. He'll look to throw. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Lamb. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Back to throw now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Baldwin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And his kick is indeed good, and we are all tied here in the final stages. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's complete to Lamb. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. They're going to look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
There's some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And that play going absolutely nowhere. And now it's 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And we have have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
From the 6. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now out comes Houston. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now a first throw here in overtime. And a quick throw here that's complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they'd struggled throughout this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. His throw incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. This is complete. It's Baldwin. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 50 yards rushing for him now as he was just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw here. He gets it to Baldwin. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now they try the right side here. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The Eagles send out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Houston's offense taking over again.
Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now back to throw. It's caught. Baldwin. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Got a man, and it's Baldwin again. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And on now is the punter as he's on to punt for Houston. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Gotta be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Lamb. And he will make his way out of bounds. That stops the clock, but they'll have something else to consider now. It's 4th down here. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one is incomplete. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
Drama, drama, drama. We saw all of it in this one. Overtime all the way to the end of OT. The long field goal shot to win it, but they couldn't convert.
And because it's the regular season, we don't play more bonus football. We don't go to another period. It ended right there. You get one in overtime to get it done. Look, let's face it. That field goal attempt was a long shot to begin with. No pun intended, or maybe pun intended. But it doesn't go through, and it ends in a tie.